your expectations for the show, and
yeah,
what do you want to take away, and then we'll talk about your show, your conferences.
That's perfect. That sounds good.
Just keep it light.
Yeah, light and easy.
All right, we like that.
Yeah,
we like that. I just got through talking to Samantha Paxson. So.
Oh, did you really? Oh, that's perfect.
We went into a deep dive into member experience, so I'm ready for light and easy. So
okay,
here we go.
Yeah, you're all light and easy with me.
Exactly. All right, here we go.
I love it.
Oh, I gotta get my lights. Oh my gosh, I knew it looked kind of dark. Apologize, Jeff.
No worries.
Very unprofessional of me.
Hey, we're old friends. You know, this is fine. We take our time.
There we go.
Get
hey,
it right.
Now I can see you.
Yeah, there
now
you go.
I can see you. All right, we are here at the 2018 CUNA GAC here in Washington, D.C., where it's a bright, sunny day, Jack.
It is. It's
Antonini.
beautiful. Can you believe it?
It's awesome.
After all the rain we had and clouds and stuff, now we got blue skies.
It looks pretty darn. It's pretty darn. It's doing a nice imitation of a nice spring day out there right now.
It actually is.
Very cool. So, how is the conference going for you, Mr. President and CEO of NetCUSO?
It's actually been going very, very well. We do a lot of meetings with our board, committees, things like that on the Sunday before things start. So those all were very productive, got a lot of that out of the way on Sunday. The conference has been going very good in between times. We meet so many people here that we work with or that we'd like to work with. So it's just a very efficient way to be able to connect with people and talk about where they're going, can we help, that kind of thing.
Do you guys have like a booth here or anything like that, or you just kind of roam around and shake hands and say, hey?
We're small enough. If we had a booth, it'd be way too limiting, and we wouldn't meet as many people.
That's a good point.
So we put together. We go through the advanced schedule of everybody that's here. Everybody who are existing customers or members or partners of ours, we go and visit them. So that's one list. Then we have a list of people that we think might make sense that we should go and talk to. We have several board members that are going around and talking to different people and stuff as well. And they come back to us and say, here's a couple ones that you ought to go see. I think this is a good one that ought to be a part of NetCUSO, or where you might be able to help them. So they're giving us tips all the way along. I just got 3 good ideas from Mike Atkins a few minutes ago.
Oh, Mike.
So, yeah, he's great.
I like Mike.
I do too.
He's a good dude. So what do you want to achieve here? What are some of your goals? I mean, like you say, you have a planning session before. I mean, what do you guys want to achieve here? What do you want to take back to NetCUSO?
Well, for us, it's kind of redefining our focus. The areas that we want to be able to focus on over the next year to 18 months. So that's people always are more relaxed, a little easier to talk, a little easier to be open when you're having a lunch together, and just makes it a little easier, I think, to get along and get to know people. So we're changing up our format a little bit, still providing time to help people find one another. But that's an important function that we serve in terms of helping people to collaborate and find collaborative partners. And along the area of finding collaborative solutions, we partnered with Callahan's and put together this pretty cool 2017. It was a CUSO directory, and it was kind of the top 40 of all the different ways of looking at CUSOs. And then we also put together a CUSO analyzer, and that's an interactive tool that you can look up every CUSO in the nation, who owns them, what do they do.
Is it kind of like a peer-to-peer thing? Where you can look up credit unions and kind of analyze the credit unions and stuff if you're a vendor looking for their business? Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
So you can look it up by credit union, by CUSO, by state, pretty much every way you can possibly imagine. So very good tool. It's something that's available exclusively to NetCUSO members. So we've had people joining, and the first thing they say is, what's my CUSO Analyzer passcode? Which is great.
Nice.
That means they really like it and they want to use it, and it's helpful. So we've been doing things like that to help with helping people meet one another, look at what the different options are, try to bring more collaboration to the industry. The industry keeps shrinking every year, and we just don't think that's necessary. We look at people like Element Federal Credit Union with Linda Bodie. She's doing a phenomenal job leveraging the CUSOs that are available to her in the marketplace. She's saved a ton of money, enough so that she was able to add 2 more branches, go from 1 to 3. She's increased her assets by 10%. All this basically since she started working with CUSOs. And she's been loving the great service levels. Her members are in love with it. She's very smart. And she's such an innovative leader to see these things, understand that industry-owned solutions are going to be member-focused and they're going to really deliver member expectations, And they're not going to resist when you want to put in place a member service level agreement to make sure that the members are really happy and satisfied. They expect that because that's what they're used to doing, So, which is different from the for-profit companies that a lot of credit unions still do business with, right? I mean, there's various organizations out there that do have unique value propositions, and that there can be reasons to work with them, but we try to find the solutions that are better for within the industry.
Right on.
That's our focus.
I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Are there any issues or trends that are kind of top of mind for you that you're tracking these days?
Well,
occasionally there's something that you write a letter about or something like that, or
yeah, I mean, one we've actually been working on. So Powers was listed as high impact and low risk, that's the sweet spot. That's the kind you want to do right away.
Exactly.
So we're just waiting to get the go ahead from the NCUA to do this.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, but way back in 2015,
that's so long.
NCUA said they were supportive.
Yeah.
Now Chairman Matz is gone, and we've got Metzger and McWaters. They're doing a wonderful job. They both said that they support this. My sense is that they're wanting to put together maybe 2 or 3 things that are in that high impact, low risk kind of case, and maybe 1 or 2 of those others is what's holding this up, because this is kind of a no-brainer, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's something we keep working on, because we think it will help a lot of people. We think that it can help lower costs, help make things more efficient, help control risk. All the things that QSOs are effective at doing. So that's one of the things that for us is still a hot button. And we're talking to everybody about it while we're here, and we're getting a lot of support. The other trade groups that we've talked to have all been very supportive of it and agree with us. So I think it's just a matter of time.
I have to pull a Marco Rubio here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just looking at what can you do to get that pushed through? Because that's been, 3 years?
Yeah.
Coming up on 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years, yep. And, I mean, we changed it around over a year ago and talked to Metzger when he was at our conference a year ago. He said, I completely agree and support this. I know that McWaters does, because we talked to them about it a long time ago. So I think it's not an issue. It's just a matter of kind of the politics of getting it through the bureaucracy. I mean, there is a bureaucracy even at the NCUA, and that challenges everybody, right? I mean, the chairman has the best ability to get things through. He's got a laundry list of things he wants to get done too, So
I can imagine the list he's got, the to-do list. My goodness.
Remember a year ago when he got up and spoke, he laid out 15 different key things he wanted to try to accomplish. That's still being worked, right? So there's a lot there.
Oh goodness. Hey, let's talk about something even cooler. Is your conference coming up?
Yes, we're excited.
It's coming up in, like a month and a half or something.
Yeah, exactly.
My gosh. So tell me about what's going on with it.
Well, we're April 16 to 19. We're going to be at Disneyland this year.
Right up the road from me.
That's perfect. That's right.
I know. Driving up.
Shauna, she lives right by there.
That's right.
She is so excited she doesn't have to go fly across the country. So it's really cool. And I guess way back when the CUSO first got started, they actually had a meeting at Disneyland. So it's kind of like Back to the Future, Only the whole place is different, right? They built this.
When he was at Navy.
Yes, they did.
I think he took him to the Final Four at least. I think
that's right.
I have to double check my.
And he won 2 NBA championships with the Spurs. With Tim Duncan, which was great.
Yep.
So neat guy, and the really cool thing with him is he is so much a credit union focused kind of person.
Really?
It's really neat because they actually there's a community trophy that they give out for helping the community. And NFL does that and stuff too.
Yeah.
The NBA renamed their trophy the David Robinson Trophy because he has had such a huge impact, and he is so well known beyond any other player in the NBA for making a massive difference in his community.
And you guys got him.
And we got him.
Right on.
So we're excited. He believes in the credit union motto of people helping people. He's going to talk about what he did in the community in which he got involved. He's going to talk about what it took to win a championship. How you work together as a team, how to motivate each other, how to hold each other accountable, how to set goals and achieve them. I mean, he's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really fun. So he'll be there. He'll be really good. We've got another person by the name of Anders Sorman Nielsen. He is a futurist strategist.
Okay.
And he's from Sweden.
Okay.
Grew up there till he was like 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah.
His dad was a diplomat, so then he moved down to Australia.
Okay.
Lived in Australia all the way through his high school years, and decided to go to college there.
Okay.
So he's sort of a Swedish Australian, which is really freaky.
That's interesting. That's 2 opposite sides of the planet.
Oh yeah, 2 totally different accents, and he kind of mixes them together.
It's got to be an interesting accent.
It's pretty funny. But he has such a great insight on the things that he talks about. He's written several books, and his whole view is about the analog world, the old world, the way we did things in the past, and then the digital world and how things work in the future. And what he talks about is the friction that exists when you try to transform from the analog to the digital, or what you're experiencing in the branch versus what it is on your mobile app.
Yeah.
So he talks about how to remove friction, how to make it frictionless so that employees and customers will really, really like it. His talk is always new. He never does the same talk twice. because technology changes so much.
Exactly.
So when he comes in, I mean, he reads so much and he stays super current on this. His talk, even if he was going to talk about the same thing that he did a year ago, you wouldn't even recognize it, which is really cool. So he's got a lot of really neat insights to share. He's got some pretty effective ways of helping to get credit unions to think about what should I do differently, how would I do it differently. When you just ask that question, lots of people kind of get stumped because they're thinking they're doing the right thing already, right? So it's kind of hard to think of how to do it different.
Right.
Well, he asks it in a totally different way, which I'm not going to
When I was there last year, it was like, gosh, it feels like all these vendors are startups, and they're like just looking for that first big break or something
and
like
you
that.
helped us
really
with the next
neat.
big idea competition, right? It was so cool, and talking to Dan Marino and everything.
Awesome.
I mean, it's fabulous. And you did such a great interview with Chris Kovacs on the Constellation winner, So that we're doing that again this year. We've got several ideas already. We'll whittle it down to the top 5.
Okay.
And all of them look pretty darn good, honestly. So I'm not sure how we're going to winnow down to the top 5, but we'll get it to the top 5.
Good luck with that.
And then they'll be there to talk about it, and everybody who's in attendance gets to vote, decide who the winner is. So that should be fun.
That's a really neat contest too. And then how you have the panel up there, kind of a Shark Tankish type of thing.
So we have 4 judges. And actually, Chris Kovacs, who won last year, he's going to come back and be a judge this year.
Oh, he's going to be on the panel, all right. Yeah, I had him in the studio lounge yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He really is. And because
really
he's gone through this, he really knows what it takes. So he knows what challenges there are. He just went through it, and so we've kind of adopted that philosophy. We had that once before. We had Matt Davis, who had won with us. We had him come back the next year and be a judge.
Did he win with Gamify, or was that?
He did.
Gamify? Okay,
Yeah. So, I mean, we like that idea because it's so fresh in their mind of what the challenges are, how you build these businesses, how you scale them, how you really bring them to bring the benefits that you want. That we just thought it made sense to have them come back if they're willing. And Chris was happy and willing to do it, so he's going to be one of our judges this year, which should be fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
So we're excited.
Anything else on your docket? I mean, we came into this interview like, what do you want to talk about? But you filled up like 10 or 15 minutes. This is awesome. Good job.
Sorry. I sometimes get to a little bit too talkative.
No, there's lots of stuff. This is cool.
It is good stuff.
Anything else to wrap up?
2 new things in the conference this year that we have not done previously. We're doing what we call CUSA overview for credit unions. And it's really for somebody who's newly in a credit union leadership role, or maybe a board member that hasn't been before, that doesn't understand CUSOs all that well. So it's an overview, because most of the detailed working sessions that we have in the breakouts are